everyone. Welcome back. Another episode of Clickbait. It's episode, I don't know, I think we're in the 60s or 70s.
83.
Yeah.
It's good to be back this week. We are going to break down Bachelor Nation. There's always something going on with us Bachelor people. And then we have a very special guest. Raven Gates is coming on the podcast. If you follow her on Instagram, you saw they just had a beautiful little baby boy, Gates. Right, Tia?
Yeah, her maiden name.
Nice.
That's so cute.
Oh, yeah, it is her maiden name.
Mm-hmm. Gates
Okay.
Gottschalk.
Nice. I like that. How's everybody?
Good.
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 I think we're all kind of feisty today.
Oh.
Natasha just eating. What are you eating? M&Ms?
I'm having some blueberries. I had a full day of being out and did not eat today. So
Oh, yeah. It's 7 p.m. where you're at.
7
You're
here,
still in
and I'm like,
Paris. Okay.
You're in Paris?
That makes sense.
I'm still in Paris, yes. Mhm.
How can you see yourself living in Paris?
Wait. Maybe.
Only for a month at a time.
Yeah, I mean, no, I like it here a lot. This last week I didn't get a chance to do a lot of things. So there's still so much to explore, but I'll give you that answer after like when I've been here a little longer. Maybe. I like it. It's very beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Natasha in Paris.
Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, I will not be dressed like Emily. Oof.
I never watched that. I feel like we've talked about that before.
You
You
gotta
never
watch
watched
it.
Emily in Paris?
No,
gotta
I've heard
watch
it's
it.
cute.
Gotta
Joe,
watch
you've
it.
seen it?
Yeah.
You're always up to date on.
I
current
am
news.
actually, yeah.
Joe's a big fan, right, Joe?
I'm not a big fan. I am a fan of, like, I do like the movie Devil Wears Prada. That I do like.
Classic.
Great
classic.
movie. But
Such
it
a
is
good movie.
it is also a very frustrating movie
Yes.
because I just can't stand how Andy gives up on fashion at the end. Just gives up. After all that work, she came so far. And if you really think about it, she's at the beginning of like influencers and blogging and all that. And she just walks away from it all. And yeah, and Vinny Chase in the movie was terrible. And then she gives it all up and she's going to go follow him in Boston.
It's true. I never even thought about that.
I
part.
never knew that Joe was so passionate about the
Yeah,
Devil
that was
Wears
really
Prada.
unexpected.
Thank you, Joe. I need, I think there's
Let's
a
just
future.
start.
of you- I think there's a future there for you doing your recaps on chick flicks.
Let's just start with the Bachelor Nation breakdown.
All right. Let's do it. Nothing too
Probably
crazy
getting
this
mad.
week in Bachelor World. First up, Gabby and Rachel have been spotted filming hometown dates, which is nuts. I feel like they just started filming. Did y'all look at any of the spoiler pictures? Because I did, and I'm mad at myself
Yeah,
for
I
now
did too.
seeing who's on hometowns. Damn it!
You know
I
what?
didn't see.
This is what sucks is because we all are from Bachelor and we follow Bachelor people. So all like the meme accounts and all that pop up on your explore page, and I always see like Bachelor spoiler, and then I'm like, well, it's in my face, so I gotta look now.
Well, this post, it was like spoiler alert, and there was like 8 slides before the spoiler. I slid through all those
Me
bitches,
too.
and I still watched that shit. I knew it was coming, and I still looked. I really like to be surprised when I watch, but maybe I'll forget. But it's kind of insane that they're already at that point.
I didn't see it, but now you guys are making me want to go see it.
I can't even remember
saw-
if it was Gabby or Rachel, to be completely honest.
think it's
That's kind of
Rachel.
interesting, too, how they're going to do hometowns.
I saw
There's
Rachel
gonna be
walking
like
with Eric, the producer.
Yeah, I saw
Oh.
Rachel. I don't think anything on Gabby has been spoiled yet. I don't think.
Okay, second in Bachelor Nation breakdown news. Clayton, our last Bachelor, made a long Instagram post about his time on the show and hashtag mental health. I didn't read all the details, but
I did.
okay.
You did.
Give
Okay.
us a summary because it was long.
I do want to
Yeah.
say I thought it was an ad for Hulu at first because if you could see,
The
if you
picture?
could see the on his TV screen, it's just Hulu.
Oh, yes. Well, it's
a
a picture of him, looking out the window where
window?
he just is like contemplating.
I don't even know if
a
he's.
contemplation shot. Listen to
I
you.
think he's just got his head. I think he's got his head like in the blinds, and he's just kind of like, ugh.
He said
I hate
Susie took that
myself.
picture. So I think that now some people feel like, maybe it's not necessary because him and Susie are actually happy, but I think it seemed like he didn't really understand where all the like flack was coming from when when the show was airing. And I think he got very defensive, and he admits to that in the post of being very defensive instead of just seeing what was happening. And now through therapy and through, just probably reflection and seeing where his behavior stemmed from, maybe he feels like he gets it now. He understands, and he's sorry. And I saw this and was like, okay, all right. Like, no one has all the answers. No one's perfect. No one, and we all know that with our bachelors and our bachelorettes. But
So when you said, okay, all right, like, you're like, oh, I like this.
yeah, I was like, okay, like he's like, how do I say this?
It's nice that he didn't rush to like make an apology either, or rush to address this. He kind of took his time to actually self-reflect.
And it's
And
still
I wish you would have thought that when he said he loved everyone.
Shut up.
well, that's the thing. I
Just
think
joking,
he sees now
just
like
joking.
that's not the, that might not have been the best course of action. I really appreciate this post. I will say that I appreciate it. I appreciate him not for necessarily Gabby or Rachel or any of the girls or anything like that. It's more so just like he's letting people know where he is on his personal mental journey.
Yeah.
So that's why I really appreciated it.
Yeah.
And I think, like, and he is a nice guy, and I think he always defended that, like, I'm a nice guy. But the thing is, like, nice people can do fucked up things too. It's just like recognizing them and moving on, I guess.
And
Yeah.
redirecting, redirecting that.
So yeah. Good for him.
I read that and I was like, okay, Clayton.
Yeah,
Thank
if you
you,
guys are listening to
Clayton.
this and you've given Clayton a hard time, maybe go read that
Yeah.
and see what he's talking about.
He's
just a little-
turned a new leaf.
It's just his page is very bright and vibrant, and that post is just, I don't know if it fits with his in feed. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Joe!
Joe, are you serious?
Literally the feisty.
Clayton, if you listen to this, do not listen to him.
Yeah,
You listen
don't
to
take
Clayton.
anything he says.
Don't listen to
seriously.
this man.
I'm just playing. Now, good for him. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Happy.
Third
Sending love.
Bachelor Nation story today. While appearing on Bachelor Happy Hour, Sydney Hightower, that's your season, right, Natasha? Sydney and Kiki.
Yes.
Sydney revealed that Kiki, who appeared with her on Peter's season, will be her maid of honor. That's so fun and so sweet that The Bachelor brings people together like this, and The Bachelorette and these people end up being lifelong friends.
That is
Yeah,
nice.
Kiki and Sydney were very close in the house, and it just continued and grew, I would say, after the fact. I'm so excited for her wedding. Her and
Is
Fred.
Sydney's fan of an athlete?
Yes, he plays
Yeah.
Football player?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Not
they're
just
one
an
of the best.
athlete. Not just
Like
an
one of the
athlete. He's
best.
like one of the best linebackers
They're
in the league.
very attractive together.
Yeah, he's really
They're
good.
so freaking cute. And it's just I mean, there's one other couple that I know that's like this, but it's kind of like everything about their upbringing, their path, like just they are truly meant for each other in this life. And I felt it. Everybody around her, like we all felt it and was like, yep, he's the one. Like early on, like super early on, we were like, they're getting married. Can't wait.
That's so sweet.
So
But
yeah,
let's
so
talk-
June 25th.
Yeah, but let's talk about how she has somebody from her season as her maid of honor. Yeah, like
Yeah, that's.
I mean, now let's
special.
talk about that. But would you? How many Bachelor people do you think are going to be at your wedding?
Me.
Mm.
Everyone.
I'm gonna have girls from my season in my wedding.
Really?
I haven't.
Who?
I haven't asked them yet. I haven't officially asked yet.
Do it now. Do it now.
I can guess. I
no.
can guess. I can
Oh yeah,
guess at
you can
least
guess
two.
like my two
Yeah,
best
I'll
friends.
guess.
But I was supposed to be in Raven's wedding, but with COVID and everything, they could only have like 20 family members at their wedding, so she had to like cut the whole bridal party.
Do you have
But I mean, we
sisters?
were friends before, but we
Do you
got
have
closer
sisters?
after. Me, no.
You have two
Yeah.
girls from your season standing up?
Yeah.
If
they say yes.
Well, Becca's one of them for sure.
And Caroline.
Okay.
If they say yes.
Yes.
If they say yes.
Yeah, well, maybe they can just act surprised when I finally ask them.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't thought of a good way to do it yet.
Well, tell them to listen to clickbait.
No, I know. Surprise.
Well, I have two sisters, so it makes it very. I have a lot of really great girlfriends, but I have two sisters. It makes
it makes so much sense. Yeah, for me, it's like I either want two people or like it's either 2 or 8. It's like hard to get in between, but I love that idea. So then you're not having to choose like this person over this person.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna have
kind of chaotic.
I'm gonna have like all my good friends and all my like people that would be standing up invited to the bachelor party, but for people, she has a sister, I have a brother, and I think that's gonna be it.
Yeah, I love that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
Nice. So I don't know that I would like if I had it my way right now today. I had to elope or whatever, get married, whatever, plan a wedding. I would want a very, very, very small wedding. I probably wouldn't invite.
I said that too, girl.
Friends. Yeah,
I feel like
engaged.
everybody that says they want a small wedding has a big wedding, and people that say they want to have a big wedding have a small wedding.
No, the thing is I want to have a big party. Y'all know I like to throw parties. I want to have a big party where I can like either in New York or LA or whatever and invite like everybody because I just don't want to like I think the actual ceremony is really intimate and personal and I want to be able to talk to everybody and I've been to these big weddings. My theory with that
though is like the ceremony only lasts like 15-20 minutes. It's like why not just invite everyone to the ceremony if they're already gonna come to the party, you know?
I think the ceremony should just be at the party.
Yeah. See, I think it's I have a vision in my head, but there's no man right here. You see,
like you get to that point, you're like, okay, if this is once in a lifetime, we're fucking doing it.
Yeah,
we're having everybody we've ever met in our lives at this damn
It really
party.
just depends on. Yeah, it depends on. It depends. Like, yeah, it totally depends.
I want to have. I know Serena's not going to go for it because she said she doesn't want to do it, but I want to have a pool party. So a wedding that's like
I'm sorry.
So you want people to show up in bikinis at your wedding?
I want
to see why Serena was like, nah.
What I want to do is I want to do it in Vegas. I want to rent out the pool section at the hotel and have everybody go to that. It'd be so much fun.
Joe, that's called a bachelor party. You mean like in their wedding outfit, they jump in the pool?
Everybody dresses down, just bathing suits.
Because you met on Paradise, we're just really tying it all up with the bow.
Yeah,
whatever you want, Joe.
It's not going to happen, but I think it would be fun.
I would.
That's a new one.
Too. All right, guys, it is that time. Clickbait. We haven't had clickbait in 2 weeks, guys. We haven't had an article in 2 weeks. Okay. Yes. So this week we're talking about pocketing. If you guys don't know what that is, it is a new dating term. I guess it's a new dating term. I guess people. Yeah, because people have been doing crazy stuff the whole time, but it's called pocketing. It's when you avoid introducing the person you're dating or seeing or talking to other people in your life. It's like you keeping them in your pocket.
Is it only a one-sided thing, pocketing? Is that what makes it pocketing? Because it's like only one person that's not sharing?
I think so. Or it's intentional. It's like we go on a date and then you're about to go meet all your bros at a bar and it's like, for the 5th time now, you don't want me to come meet your bros at the bar with you? What's up? What's going on? No. See you later, girl. Bye.
So it's called pocketing. It's called pocketing because you're hiding the person in your pocket.
Yes.
Right. Okay. You want to keep them, but you don't want to show them off. Okay.
Got it.
Right. So there's two main things in this article that stood out when they said the reasons why people do this. Why do people do this? So insecurity / jealousy is one of the reasons. So they don't want you to, they may be insecure of you and or their friends, family, whatever. So they don't want you to like realize that like, I got this crazy group of people that I hang out with.
Don't we
I don't want to scare you off. But then also It could be to preserve the relationship, because sometimes once you let everybody know you're dating somebody, and a lot of people in Bachelor Nation do this when they start dating someone that isn't in the Bachelor world, they give a soft launch and they'll give a major launch of like, oh yeah, this is my boo, and you don't do it right away. I'm pretty sure Tia pocketed Taylor in that way from the gram.
I did.
So you're a pocketer.
I know, and I was thinking about that too, and I was like, well, there's certain circumstances, but we were in public together. We just weren't on social media together. And that, even though he understood why it was different and I couldn't just show him off immediately, it still kind of was like, well, it's kind of a bummer.
Mean? Yeah, like I get to mean I can't post a selfie. What?
Right.
Yeah. So there's two different things, and there's two different things that they talk about with that. And I definitely believe I've experienced both with guys, like a guy just only wanting to hang out with me and then go live his life and do his thing with his friends and family. And then I've also been in situations where it's like, oh, let's just keep this to us, because the moment people is haters, is this, is that, whatever. So what do you guys think about pocketing? Well, we know, Tia, you just said it with Taylor, but have you ever done it? Do you think it's a good idea? Are you for it, against it? Tell me. Tia, you go first.
There's always circumstances, of course, but I feel like maybe if you kind of talk about it and mutually understand, well, in my mind, I'm thinking about it in a social media standpoint. Like introducing to family and friends and stuff, I feel like that's not as public. I feel like that probably shouldn't do that. Like there's probably a reason if someone doesn't want to introduce you to their friends and family. But I feel like on social media, that can be like, that's been my experiences. I've had guys like that. I'm posting them and like everyone knows we're together, but they won't post me. And I found out later that they were like cheaters. So that's kind of like a soft spot for me. It kind of depends, I guess. I hate saying that, but it kind of does.
Yeah.
But normally it ends up being sketchy unless you're like on a TV show and you can't share your new man.
Yeah. What about you, Joe? What do you think about pocketing? Have you done it? Have you ever done it?
I don't think so. Not that I can't really remember, to be honest. I think that for me personally, I don't know if this falls in the line of pocketing or not, but I wouldn't necessarily introduce a girl that I'm talking to my family unless we are both on the same page and the relationship is now taking a turn for being serious.
Right.
Friends, even friends, I think I would still like, I guess friends could potentially be right away, but yeah, I mean, I would say it depends. I think it's all circumstantial, but I think if like somebody seems like they are purposely like hiding the fact that they're talking to you, then something shady might be going on.
Yeah, there's a reason behind that.
Yeah. Otherwise, like, why do it?
Yeah, I'm going to say it's a hard red flag for me if someone, of course, you don't have to be, posting selfies right away or whatever, doing this or doing that. But if you are trying to be, elusive in any way, why? Why are you doing that?
Especially if it's one-sided.
Okay,
Especially if it's one-sided.
Let me say this. What do you think about this? If, all my friends, which they're not, but if all my friends were just like, if I had 5 friends and they were all guys and they were all just single guys who want to go out and party, and now that I'm in this relationship, I don't know if I would like be like, if all my friends were going out to watch a game, I don't know if I'd be like, oh yeah, come with and meet them.
I understand that, and I get that.
Yeah, I mean, I actually disregard everything I just said. I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, listen, if you're having your boys' night out or boys' day out and it's only the guys and you guys are watching football, whatever, like, I get that. But it's different when you feel, it's different if every time you go out, that's always your narrative. It's like, wait, what? Yeah. That's, why can't I go? But, I mean, I like football. Why not? You know what I mean? Or whatever. I don't know. For me, I think it is a red flag. I don't think pocketing is a good thing. This article definitely showed it in more of a more negative light or more red flaggy light. And I do think that you should have open dialogue. If you are, like you said, one-sided, two-sided, it should be agreed upon that we aren't going to meet each other's families or hang out with friends until we know we want to progress this relationship or something. So yes,
Yeah.
I would agree with you. These terms, breadcrumbing, pocketing, they're everywhere.
Yeah, Serena and I got in a huge fight, not too long ago because
What'd you do?
Yeah, I just felt like every post that she posts should be a picture of me, and I feel
Oh,
like
I
I'm
fucking
being
know.
pocketed. Nah, I'm joking. That was also stupid. Okay, I think you know what? I think it's time right now. Should we bring in our guest? I think so. Everybody, we're very excited to have her on. She just had a baby. You all know her. We know her. We love her. She's been on the podcast before with her husband. Everyone, please welcome Raven to the podcast.
Raven.
Should we bring her on? I think we shall. He just answers his own questions.
Raven's here. Baby Gates is here. If you're just listening and you don't see him, he's very cute, and he is also on the podcast. So, Raven, how are you?
Say hi, Baby Gates.
Hi, Baby Gates. Say hi, Baby Gates. He's like, I have a book in front of me right now he's very interested in. But we're doing good over
perfect.
here.
Oh,
Good.
How is motherhood?
How many months is he now?
He's 3 months old, so we're getting there. He's like the size of a 6-month-old, though. So he's like super heavy, super long. He's like his
But he can
dad.
hold his head up now.
Yeah, very busy.
So who does he look like? Who does he resemble? I initially was going to say Adam, but I actually kind of think it's you.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think it's
I
like
She's
love
so
hearing that,
dark.
'cause I barely do.
but it's the eyes, though. I think, right?
Yes, I think he does have my eyes, and his coloring throws everyone off because this is obviously Adam's coloring. So
Mm-hmm. Well, like baby pictures of you, everything is just so dark. Like
yeah,
black hair,
everything.
black eyes.
I was so shocked he did not come out with black hair. I thought that would be one dominant trait we will not be able to look over. And as you can see, he's blue-eyed right now and auburn hair.
Yeah, but it might turn black. Like I
It
came out
could,
with
yeah.
I came out with like light brown hair, and it's black now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's
Yeah.
hope that you can
Yeah.
look like your mommy.
So,
Yeah.
Raven, we have to ask, what are your thoughts on The Devil Wears Prada? Have you seen the movie?
Devil Wears Prada. I
Yeah.
have not seen that movie in so long.
Oh, okay, but you've seen
Like
it.
the rest of
Yes.
the world,
Joe's
Yes,
very passionate about it.
All
no
right,
one
well,
remembers but Joe.
if you get time, because you haven't seen it in a while, rewatch it, and we'll call back in, and we just want to know your thoughts on everything that went down with Andy, and at the end, it was just a disappointing ending.
Okay, I will watch and report back.
Okay, so you guys just flew out to California, huh?
We did. We've been trying to travel as much as we can now that we have the baby and I'm not restricted to my house because of the pregnancy. But yeah, we've been going. We went to Arkansas. That was the baby's first plane experience. And then we went to LA.
So how was Gates on the plane?
He was so good. He was 2 months old when we went to Arkansas. So it was like an hour flight. And
Okay.
so that was our test run. But to LA, he's older and he's like doing what he is now. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be because it's nothing like a few bounces can't fix,
Yeah.
So at least it wasn't the mom, knock on wood, on the plane that's baby screamed the whole time,
Yeah, what do you
Yeah.
do? Like their ears pop and stuff, and so then they scream. Like I don't know what you're supposed to do about that.
Yeah, if they have a passy or a bottle or if they can
Oh, yeah.
nurse, going up or down really helps pop their ears, helps with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they usually give me a bottle because I scream too if my ears pop on the plane.
Yeah, it's like a tequila bottle, but it's a bottle nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give this girl
Screaming for
man some tequila.
Yes.
So where else do you guys have planned to go?
Well, we want to go to Mexico soon. We also just want to get out and travel. There are a few states, like when Adam and I first started dating, every weekend it seemed like, or every other weekend, we'd go to a different state. And we went to North Dakota one time and, just random places. And so when COVID happened and everything kind of stopped, moving along, we had to put our travel on hold. So we kind of want to go to different states we hadn't been to together since our relationship and bring the baby along because I think it's like super important for him to just get used to going places,
Yeah, exactly. To get them used to your lifestyle. Do
Yeah.
you have an age that you've thought about maybe when you will travel without the baby?
Well,
Just you and Adam.
Adam and I
Next
just had
week.
our, no, it was actually last week.
Yeah.
Adam
Yeah.
and I went to Louisiana for our anniversary. Adam had never been, so we went to New
Oh.
Orleans. And we didn't bring the baby. And you guys, it about killed me. I think it was a little too early for me to leave, but he was in good hands. And we were just gone for less than 48 hours, so it's fine. But I knew that it was very important to mine and Adam's relationship and our just 1 year and everything that's happened in a year to get out and do something fun. And so we did. And I just made a promise to myself. I cried on the way to the airport and I told Adam, I'm just having a really hard time. But this is the last thing I'm going to say about being upset about it, you know? So the rest of the trip, I kept it in. And I had a headache the whole time because I was worried. But
yeah, that's why I
It was
said
really
an
good.
age. Because it's like harder. It's like the kid is fine. Like it's a baby. Like whatever. The baby's
Yeah.
fine. It's really the mom that's like, I miss my baby.
Yes, and I knew he was fine. You know, he was in such good care, and I did not have to worry about that. You know,
Right.
But it's hard.
Right. It's hard.
What's now being 3 months into motherhood? What's been the most surprising thing, good and bad? Give me a pro and con.
Well, not to get too into it, but the most surprising thing for me was how hard breastfeeding would be. That was like a shock. I thought that would be so easy. It was very, very hard for me. And then I think it's also, I tried to prepare myself the best I could for the baby, but the emotion you feel is, I just can't even describe it. Like, I'm not a crier. I never have been until kind of mine and Adam's relationship, and we like fell in love. That made me more emotional. We got married. That made me more emotional. And then having a baby, I like went into the nursery the other day to just rock him to sleep. And I just cried because I thought my parents are healthy. Adam's here in the bed. I'm rocking my baby. Like there will be one day where my parents are gone and the baby's grown and me and Adam are like mad at each other or something, you know? So it's like
it makes you
very
appreciate the
emotional.
small things.
Yeah. And I think
I'm glad you have a
having
positive
baby is
mindset. That's good.
Oh my gosh, you have to be to have a baby.
No,
If you
Joe,
I love that it's made
worry.
you more emotional. She's never been the crier. She'll like cry over something that happens with me, but she like will never cry about herself. So
Yeah.
That's so
sweet.
sweet.
So being
Yeah.
more emotional is like something that surprised me after having the baby.
At the
Yeah.
baby shower, you guys all got wasted?
Oh my gosh. Everyone got wasted but me. Like at one point, people were in my house dancing on the countertops, like shooting tequila.
Raven was driving everyone home. Raven was like the bus driving everyone home at the end of the night.
I need the footage.
Oh, it's wild. It is wild.
I'm also
so
admiring your photos that you have behind you.
Oh yeah.
That's you and the baby.
Yeah, me, the baby, and then Adam and the baby.
Oh,
Sorry.
that is so cute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
those are
very
nice.
So cute. Yeah, I
very
can see them from here.
traditional.
They're
Very
so nice.
southern to have, photos of the baby on the
The
wall.
rings, like the wedding rings on the baby.
Exactly.
Okay, let's get a nice. How about this? Raven, do you have a
Joe, do you have
an
baby fever?
embarrassing? Do you have an embarrassing drunk Tia story? And Tia, do you have an embarrassing drunk Raven story?
Oh yeah,
I already
All
know.
right, let's do this. Okay, I want to
Already
hear it.
know what Tia's gonna say. I'm scared.
Sip.
Okay,
Tia,
so I actually just saw a picture of us. Like one of the first pictures we took together was in college. And it was the night of my PT school graduation. So it was 2016. And Raven owned her store in Jonesboro. And I'm sure we were all wearing shop gray suede. And Raven had this shirt on. It was like the trend at the time. It was like off the shoulder and it was like sweetheart neck and had like little sleeves on it. And it had a little zipper in the back. Like the zipper was really short, like that's just the only way it stayed on. And we went out to this bar after my graduation, the only bar in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And this girl kept pushing Raven when she was dancing. And Raven was like, don't push me again. The girl pushed her again. And at this time, I was like over here talking to my friend's brother, like kissing my friend's brother. I had no business, but I was in a great mood. I was like, I'm a doctor. I don't give a damn. But this girl pushed Raven again. And she was like, I swear to God, if you push me again, I'm going to punch you. And the girl pushed her again. And Raven said, bop, bop, bop. She punched this girl and her shirt popped off. Raven's shirt popped off. Because this zipper was like this big.
Wow.
One of our guy friends that had just graduated with me ran over and like grabbed her to make sure like her shirt stayed on. And this other girl, like Raven's bopping this girl. And this other girl, all she could do was pull Raven's hair. And one of our other girlfriends like took Raven home because obviously she was like, I gotta go. My shirt came off.
Yo, Raven was actually outside.
Right. Yeah. I actually was interviewing for The Bachelor at the time. Oh, I was like in the process. And
look, my shirt's about to come off.
My friend EJ, it was EJ, wasn't it? Who came over there and he put my shirt back on my chest. And he was like, because your adrenaline's going, like I didn't know it popped off. And he put my top back on me and he's like, Raven, you're about to be on national television. Get yourself together. I don't care how many shots you've had. Get yourself together.
And she's so chill, but she was like, I'm not going to threaten that and not do it. So I had to like prove my point.
But also, why was that girl why was she bumping you?
I think she liked the guy I was dancing with.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
Absolutely. Okay, now that makes sense.
Gates, there's your mother right there.
There she is.
Here because I have my earpiece in, so his ears can listen to this when he gets a hold of the iPad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Baby Gates, she gonna have your back.
Core memory.
Uh-oh, Raven, you don't let somebody start bullying my baby. I'm gonna be on my way.
Exactly. You already know.
Okay, Raven, it's your turn now. Let's hear the Tia story. Mm-hmm.
I don't know
if we have any.
I don't know if what I can tell.
That's the story you tell.
That's the story you tell.
Questioning.
Tell that story. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't want to tell one that I have, but I think I'll go with Tia dating this guy. And she calls me and tells me that he won't hook up with her. You remember this, Tia?
No.
Tia's face.
And he won't hook up with her. And no, it's not Colton. Don't worry. It was somebody else.
That would make sense, though.
Yeah.
That also happened.
We found out later. This isn't really an embarrassing story for her. But
God bless.
We found out later that he has a lifelong situation down there. I'm not going to say what it was.
No.
Something to that effect.
Something that you can't get rid of.
Yeah. It was pretty bad.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I know what it is.
Raven even talked to her mom about it. And her mom's like, well, if she really loves him, then she'll like get through it with him. And Raven was like, she doesn't love him. What do you mean?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Should I type it? I'm going to type it. We shouldn't say it. I'm going to type it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not really like a drunk story, but that was like.
Wow. Gates has learned so much. Okay, so let's put this. Let's bring this back on track here. Let's talk more about parenthood.
Back to motherhood.
Yeah, let's say
back to motherhood.
So how's Adam been as a father?
Yes,
he's been really good. I think it's easier for guys when the baby gets older because when they're young, they just need their moms so much for everything, and like the baby would get frustrated and Adam can't comfort him like I can. So that was really hard for him, I think, because I thought he kind of felt like a failure in his own way, but I think that's just all men. So like yesterday we went to the grocery store and Adam strapped him on his chest and he was like, I have the butterflies like having him next to me right now. So he's been really sweet and very hands-on and just like go with him. He will strap him on and just like go out in the yard, water the plants, whatever with him. So it's really sweet. He does what he can.
Will he change a diaper?
Oh, yeah, definitely. He'll change a diaper. He'll give him a bath. He'll lotion him up. He'll dress him. He's great.
Oh, I love
So
that. Okay,
sweet.
so in the middle of the night, the baby's crying. Who's the first person to get up to get him?
Adam has never gotten up one night. Not one night. That is just something Adam will not and cannot do.
Does he just sleep
He
through
can
it?
sleep
or
through
he
anything.
Yeah, tell him. It's not that he sleeps through it. He's just like, I can't. His job is super important. And that's something like going into pregnancy that I knew was going to be my sole responsibility is getting up with the baby because Adam doesn't get paternity leave. He doesn't, he can't take off work, leave work. And he works very long and hard hours. So I knew that was up to me. And so that was just like something we agreed on as a couple that's what I was going to do. And I was happy to do it,
Well, you can probably comfort him better anyways, or like figure out what he needs better.
Yes, exactly.
Well, so that's interesting that you say that. At what point in your relationship did you guys like have those types of talks? Like before you were pregnant or?
Natasha, we have done every sort of therapy you can think of, not because we needed it. We did it preventatively.
Yes.
So like, we come from two different backgrounds or two different religions where, he's from California. He was raised differently. I'm from the South. I was raised with just my mama and he was raised with a whole crew of people. And so, we knew we had major differences on those kinds of things. So we had premarital counseling. We had counseling before we had children. We had, interfaith counseling. We had I can't remember what the term was called, but we did like getting ready for a family counseling,
Yes.
So we did all of that and worked it out.
Yeah, that's so smart.
Yeah,
It is really smart. Like you said, preventative. And I think that people don't talk about that enough. And, when this phrase mental fitness is going around so much, it's like you're preparing yourself, for these things. And so you knew exactly where he stood. He knew exactly where you stood. So when you guys had the baby, it helped.
Yeah, it helped. I mean, there's things that you can't prepare for, right? Like you can always try to prepare, but there's going to be a curveball. And we learned that through every phase of our relationship. But I think what's really good for me and Adam is we have the basic foundations that are so similar. Like we don't want divorce. We want each other to be successful. Our family as a unit is the most important. So that kind of foundation makes it easier to navigate the troubled waters when we get into them,
Yes.
Yeah,
that you
that's
want
so
the
smart.
same end game. That's so for anybody listening. I mean,
the same end game.
Yeah, that is great. That is so good. Oof.
That's hard to grasp too, especially as like an independent woman who wants to have like a partner and feels like a team. Like it's very hard for me to switch to that team mindset and not just think like I'm working for myself. I'm thinking about myself, and that's kind of a transition that me and Taylor are still kind of figuring out, like what our roles are.
Yeah, and Tia, there was another transition. I had the same, and I had another transition after having him, or actually becoming pregnant with him. And I've had this conversation with many of my girlfriends, like in the corporate world, especially. Once you become a mother, you realize you don't want to be maybe you do, maybe you don't. But for me, it was not important to be the strong, independent woman anymore. It was important for me to stay at home with him. And that's my personal preference. Right. And I never thought I would feel that way.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And Adam didn't think I'd feel that way either. So like, those are things that come up that you don't prepare for feeling like that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what do you think already, he's 3 months, what do you think his personality is? Like, how do you think he's, do you think he's going to be super like dad, like mom? What do you think?
I think he'll be like Adam because he doesn't like to sit for very long. He's like, go, go, go like Adam. And then, believe it or not, like right now he's a little fussy, tired, but he's so happy all the time like Adam. Like, I'll wake him up and he smiles, and then I'll put him to bed and he smiles, and it just makes it easier when the nights are long and hard if you get a little bit of a smile, you know? So I think he'll be a lot like Adam, but I also hope he's like me in the sense that nothing really rattles my boat. We're just like smooth coast sailing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Do you look at him now? Do you ever look at him and think like, wow, I met your father on a television show? Yeah. Like, do you think of that?
Yes, when they wheeled him into us, because I had a C-section, when they wheeled him into the room with us and me and Adam were alone with this baby, we're like, okay, first of all, we're parents. And then second of all, like, how did this happen? Like, last thing I knew, I was taking tequila shots on a beach. And then we're here. Like, what?
Yeah.
What happened?
It's
Tequila
wild.
shots they will get you anywhere, right? They will get you with a house and a baby.
Yeah.
In a new city, ready to go.
It is crazy because like even for like Serena and I, like our relationship now just feels
Normal, right?
I mean just real and normal, and like you almost forget like, damn, like we met in such strange circumstances, but I guess like, you know, it is what it is. It's cool though.
Yeah, and like as good and bad as like experiences you can have coming off the show or going through the show, like just with people's criticisms or other things that happen that, you know, you have never had to deal with had you not been on the show, you still have this deep appreciation for what it brought you. You know, I especially do. And even when it didn't, things like don't work out, you still have glimmers of really great things to look at. Like, even if Adam and I never worked out, like how beautiful was it that we were able to go on this show, experience what we experienced, and have the time of our lives. You know, you have to take the good, the bad, the ugly.
Right.
And so I just have such a gratitude and appreciation for the show because, I mean, I got everything. I got this house, I got my baby, I got my husband, like everything from the show. And I'm just like, it's really bizarre to think about because it's not, like you were saying, Joe, it's not like something you think about every day. But if you just take some time of reflection and just appreciate the good, it's a lot of good.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think Tammy also feels the same way you feel. So anyways, are you
now don't get me wrong, I do my part in this relationship. I tell Adam all the time, you would not be as successful if it wasn't for me, and you'd be searching the world for somebody like me if you ever left me, and you would never find her.
Yeah. You better tell him. Drop your mic, Raven.
have you have you had time to keep up with the show? If so, well, actually, let me just ask you that. Have you been watching the show?
Yeah, I have been watching the show, and of course I watched all the Clayton and Susie, and I watched all of that.
Okay, so you are somebody that has proven to be the success story coming out of Paradise. Who do you want to see on Paradise this year? And is there anybody that you could see hooking up and lasting? Or is that too soon?
Oh gosh, it is so too soon to tell. Because I love weird combinations of people because that's what works. It's not going to be the people you automatically think are going to go together. It's going to be the off-ball people that you're like, that would never work. It always works. And that's what frustrates me about Bachelor in Paradise sometimes is that those people get overlooked. And I'm just like, go for the guy in the corner that's like, he probably would treat you very well. He probably has a great job, and you guys can have like amazing chemistry in the bedroom. Like, just go for it, you know? Like, it's always the quiet ones that get missed out on, you know?
Yeah. I think that's true.
I mean, they didn't show Adam at all on his season. I mean, he had more screen time his first day of Paradise than he did his whole season. So I'm so glad I did that for myself, you know?
For sure.
What's crazy about your season is, I mean, you guys got shut down right at the beginning. So, you know, it might not even have picked back up. Yeah.
Right.
Do you think if it didn't pick back up, you and Adam would have met in the real world and become a thing?
We like to joke that in another lifetime, in another dimension, my parents, when I was younger, got offered a job really close to Adam's hometown. And I said that, you know, whether we would have met on the show, I think God knew we were going to meet on the show. But if we hadn't, my parents would have taken that job and I would have found you. Like, I don't know. We just have those scenarios that we would have found each other somehow.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's nice. I think that's. I think
you're right.
Yeah.
I think so. I like to think that way anyway.
All right, seeing that you have a little baby and you're a busy mother, do you want to play a game with us before you leave?
Yeah, I think he's asleep.
Oh, wait,
he's trying.
There's one more question that I have for you. That your baby dog. How has the baby dog been adjusting?
He's so good. Did you just hear him bark or like kind of growl just then?
We could see him back there earlier too.
Yeah.
He's so good. We took him to training before we had the baby because we wanted to make sure like he has this really bad thing of where babies come in the house and he licks them right on the face. So we had to figure that out. And when he came back, I was very curious how he would be. So we brought a blanket that the baby was wrapped in from the hospital first, and then the baby, which helped him get used to his scent. And ever since then, like when the baby cries, I kid you not, he will go get a toy and bring it to the baby. Like, what can I do to help? I kid you not. It's so bizarre. It never fails. He's
so
such
smart.
a good big brother. He's so good.
It's so
That's so
crazy
cute.
to me how all like dogs are just good with babies. Like they
They just know to take
they
care
just
of it.
know. It's just crazy.
We as humans do not deserve dogs. We don't deserve dogs.
They
Yeah.
really just
Mars
know.
right here growling at the Amazon guide. I'm just like, yeah, right.
Mar.
No, that's so sweet. That's a great tip too, to bring the blanket home first. And
Yes,
have
or a
Get the
diaper.
smell.
We had a diaper. We brought home a dirty, like a wet diaper for him too.
Yeah, that's such a great tip. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Needed to know because the dog sometimes it's a little hold on.
Yeah,
I'm the baby.
totally.
Wait.
Yeah,
Totally.
especially with like a German Shepherd, like Bo.
Yeah, a big dog. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, Mama. So we have rapid fire questions, the new Mama edition. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
So first thing that comes to mind. All right.
Okay.
One word you would use to describe yourself as a mom.
Loving.
Oh. What is the most recent picture you took of baby Gates?
Him in the bathtub.
Oh.
What color does Gates look best in?
Green, just like his daddy.
Oh. Wait, is his eyes blue or green?
They're blue, but I think they're going to turn green. I really do. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, we know this answer. Who changes more diapers, you or Adam? Definitely.
Me. Definitely me.
What's the first thing you do once Gates goes down for a nap?
Shower, and then me and Adam run and get in the shower together and immediately get in the bed together and just have our time. Like, that is our time.
Damn, girl.
I was not ready for that. I was not ready for that.
I do not mean that sexually. I mean,
Oh.
obviously we're married, but like,
You can have sex if you want.
yeah, we do. I mean, it
It's
comes
like,
with it
the baby
sometimes.
sleep. Let's go.
No, we just. Sometimes when he comes home super late from work, so we don't even get to talk. So we're like running in the shower and hop in bed really quick and like talk and just catch up with our day and like cuddle each other and give each other a hug and whatever else maybe. But that's like our time to check in with each other. Yeah.
We got ya. We got ya, Raven. Okay. Now that you're a mom, what's your favorite way to treat yourself?
Oh, take a long hot bath. That's my favorite. And have a really delicious cold coffee. Those are my two things. Yeah.
Does Adam bathe with you as well? Or is it just showers?
Joe, okay, ask Tia. If you were at my house, you would see that my husband specifically put 2 different temperature dials in our shower, one for him and one for me. So we can
Smart.
shower together and have our temperature that we want.
Smart.
This is
Yeah.
how he
Wait,
thinks.
who's cold? Who's warm?
Oh, I'm hot, like fire hot, and he's super cold. I can't do the cold. Yeah.
No.
That's great. That's great. Okay, what's the favorite gift you got at your baby shower?
Oh, what is my favorite gift? I think it was from my mom. She gifted me a little diaper pin that she used to put on my diaper, and she handed it down to me. So that was like very special and sentimental because it was given to her by her mother.
Oh,
That was so
Yeah.
sweet. That was so
Yeah,
special.
Tia was there. She knows.
That was so cute.
yeah, that's really sweet. All right, you're a mom now. How many times do you check your Instagram and has it changed from when you weren't a mom?
Yeah, I don't think I've posted a story in like 48 hours, but it is also harder because you don't want to see the criticism and you don't want to see any negative because it can send you in such a bad spot, especially after having a baby, like when your hormones are really crazy. So since I've had him, I have not checked my like unread DMs from people, even if they're good or bad, because I'm just scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of
Makes sense.
unwanted advice too.
Yeah,
like
most
people
are
telling you how
super
to do.
sweet. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Like most people are super sweet and just trying to help. But for my own sanity, like I had one person texting me about stuff. I'm like, hey, I love you so much, but I'm like right after having a baby, my emotions are so crazy. Like I don't need to hear or see, things or whatever.
Right.
So that's kind of like the Instagram thing. But I love sharing pictures of him on Instagram. I just don't read anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Smart.
Okay, good.
Smart.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
All right, few more we're gonna bang out here. Where is the one place you and Adam can't wait to travel to with Gates?
Oh, we were talking about doing a trip to Switzerland, and we're discussing whether we're going to bring the baby or not, which he will never remember, but that might be a really special, time for us. So we literally are debating this if we're going to go next year with the baby or without the baby.
Mm-hmm. Okay, nice. Any tips for the fellas looking to spoil their wives on Mother's Day? Do you have any tips for our listeners?
If she is, let's see, I think the best thing you can get your wife for Mother's Day is a babysitter or be the babysitter yourself and not let her do anything. Don't let her carry the baby, feed the baby, just take control and give her one day off. I think that's the best gift.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Finish the sentence. Something no one told me about pregnancy that I wish I knew was.
No one told me how hard breastfeeding would be. Yeah,
Mhm.
no one told me that. And I wish I knew a little bit more about that. So I was prepared. I was pretty prepared for everything else.
Yeah. Okay. Who has more of a magic touch when getting Gates to stop crying? You or Adam?
Oh, absolutely me. Absolutely. But
Okay.
I'm very proud of Adam when he's able to do it. And he is very proud of himself when he's able to do it as well.
Yeah. Okay. What else? Oh, fashion sense. Gates' fashion style. How would you describe it?
Cool, casual, doesn't care, just lives in the moment kind of vibe.
I love that for him.
Yes. Okay. How many photos of Gates do you currently have in your phone?
Probably, I might take 5 a day, so if maybe more than that. So if you do 5 times 3 months, probably that. And then what's so sad is the first month of his life got erased from my phone.
How?
Oh.
How?
I could cry thinking about it.
I'm about to cry. What?
I switched out phones and I backed it up. Everything was good. It was showing up on my iCloud, whatever. They cleared my phone. It was gone. Apple doesn't know what happened. iCloud doesn't know what happened. It's just
Oh,
like,
no.
it was really weird because it's like just from one date to one date, like someone specifically, I don't know. Anyway, I won't get into it, but yeah.
Oh,
Thank
I'm
God I have
sorry.
all the pictures. Like I overshared with my family and friends that
Right.
I could get most of them back. So
Good.
Nice.
Okay, last one. If Gates one day tells you he wants to go on The Bachelorette, would you let him?
I think it's super important for him to, as my immediate instinct would want to tell him no, just to protect him, because I know how hard it could be and how he could be betrayed. But I hope I can say this when he gets there, that it's his journey and it's his life to live. So I hope he has fun. I would give him a kiss and tell him I would support him and to go have fun. And just remember, everyone is watching. So
Everyone is watching.
Yeah.
Just everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone's. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Raven. Tell everyone where they can find you on social.
So everybody can find me on Raven Nicole Gates on Instagram. I do a little bit of YouTube here and there. And then I'm working on a website where I have like a landing page for everything. But that's where you can find me most of the time.
Oh, amazing.
Nice.
And does Gates have a Insta yet?
He does. He has Gates Gottschalk. That is his Insta.
Is he
Nice.
asleep?
Is he asleep? Did we witness
Yeah.
you just put him to sleep and do a whole
Yeah.
podcast? Mama can do it all. Mama can
I
do
know
it
you're
all.
burning like 1,000 calories an hour, like bouncing him this
Oh,
whole
I
time.
know. I'm
And
like,
just
yeah, and
snoozing.
he's so heavy. I'm like,
Yeah.
he's my own personal dumbbell.
Yeah.
Sweet boy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thanks,
for having
Raven.
me, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
So much good advice in this episode about different things with relationships and the baby and all the things. I loved it.
She
I go to her
has,
for everything.
she has a very healthy mindset.
Yes.
And it seems like Adam's the same. Like preventative therapy, I would never even think about doing that, but it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they
It
had to do a
really
lot of
does.
interfaith counseling because he's Jewish and she's
Okay.
Right.
Christian.
She's Catholic, Christian.
No, she's Christian.
Did she, did she convert?
I don't think so. I think
No, she
their priest or whoever married them was okay doing an
Mhm.
interfaith wedding because a lot of
Right. A
people
lot of
are.
them won't. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the
Yeah.
place where they got married was okay with it. Yeah, but
Mhm.
she's
Got it.
always been like that. She's always had that really great mindset. And I was so thankful to have her after she was on The Bachelor and then I was on it right after her because she had experience with all that and she was just my go-to person. She's just so insightful and good and
Mhm.
Yeah.
love her to death.
Mhm.
Thank you so much to our listeners and thank you to Raven for being here today.
Yes, and as always, make sure to subscribe and submit all your questions. We want to know what clickbait you want us to get into next week. Make sure to follow us at ClickbaitBN on Instagram. All the links to all our socials are on that page.
And share your stories with us. We want to know what clickbait you're looking at this week. Clickbait is available on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you listen. You can listen ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app. We will see you guys next week.
Whoosh.